things. Can you hear me through this mask?
You can take out the mask, man.
Alright. I just want to trick me, just want to realize the brush I met mask and it get in one of the picture then.
Alright, sir.
And that we have a pouch you can store them into as well. The entrepreneur never rests. Long story short, good night.
Sure.
Alright. My name is Randy Mack. My story started in the year 1987 in the back room of my grandmother's house in a small district called Garden Field in St. Thomas. You know it? Oh, all right, I thought so. That's where it started. As the intro said, with big dreams. If anybody know about growing up in country, grandma, mother would always instill in you, you must have ambition, them things you learn to satisfy. I remember we had to walk several miles to get to school, oftentimes. To cut the long story short, I did my GSAT. I was one of the enough students. I was doing football, cricket, spelling bee, everything. Did well in GSAT at the time, and I passed for a town school. And if you know about country people and them interaction with town school, when I pass with town school, a big thing that. I mean, grandma, thank you, Jesus, me boy pass with town school. Even when they don't know the name of the school at town, they thank you, Jesus. So I passed for Excelsior High School, packed my bags, left country, on my way to Kingston to fulfill my dreams, right? So I went and I lived with a family in Rockfort. Did very well throughout high school. Mommy never had it in terms of sending us to school and providing lunch money daily. So you found that teachers became family for me. And the entire concept of family became more than just biological connections. And what I want to talk to you about tonight is becoming purposeful and prepared. And how much we have dysfunctional families in Jamaica and individuals, and how sometimes we walk around not understanding our purpose or not being prepared for our purpose. And for a lot of times, though I was doing well, you know, I was going through and pushing through, but I didn't always know what I was doing. And so throughout high school, I know for sure that I wanted to make the family back home in St. Thomas more purposeful and prepared. I know some my granny love me, I know the family is loving, but there was too much dysfunction, and those things can tear families apart, right? And so I was sure that I wanted to get a solid education so that I could help to break this cycle of poverty. And so throughout high school, I was very focused on not just getting a solid education, but being a well-rounded individual. Anybody understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
So going to school wasn't just about book work for me. It was about playing some football. It was about dropping some dub poetry, it's a drama group. Right? And at high school is when I started to perform for the first time. So before I get into the pressure part of the story, from high school I started performing dub poetry. And because of the talent and the skill and walking into that purpose and that talent, I've been able to travel to over 15 countries performing dub poetry and doing workshops. The same little youth from the small community in St. Thomas. Clearly, I had some talent and I was purposeful and prepared enough for that side of my life. And I tell you, I left Excelsior, the same country youth who struggled to make it back and forth to school daily sometimes, give thanks for the help of my teachers, became the head boy of Excelsior High School, became the valedictorian of Excelsior High School as well. And within a year after leaving Excelsior and going to Wolmer's Boys for sixth form, I became the deputy head boy of that another noble institution. Again, I was walking into some amount of purpose, and clearly my journey at Excelsior had prepared me in terms of student leadership at the time. So now we'll go through, and so that's school. That's taking care of high school, the high school part of the journey. All right. So when it was time now to go to university, there was no money. So you have all these dreams, you have the ambition, but you need to find a way. My friends, it's the same dub poetry that brought me throughout university. So every pan and knock a Yui, me tell them if you book me, I may get me like a 5,000, me get me like a 10,000 from each dub poetry performance. You understand? And so that's how I started to build my brand on UWI campus. And you have a guidance counselor that I had from primary school who she gave me part of the school fee as well to make it through university. The concept of family goes beyond biological connections for me, and that's important, right? Because throughout my life, I find that people who weren't necessarily blood related were there to support me. They were there to give me a helping hand, to pull me up instead of helping to bring down. And so, in 2015, myself and my younger brother, Davian, saw an opportunity and we decided to start this company called Bresche on our veranda with big dreams, one old domestic sewing machine, and my brother was self-taught. So for about 6 months he would have pulled down different bags that we bought until we had a product that we thought was ready for the market. Posted the photos to social media, got our first 3 orders, took the deposit from those orders, and we used the deposit from those orders to start Bresche. I kid you not, we went and used the deposit to buy the first piece of fabric, the thread where we need, the needle and everything, until about a month after we're able to buy a second-hand industrial sewing machine. And my friends, Bresche, started by the 2 of us, is now a team of 15 people. We're no longer on the veranda, but we now rent out a house into Portmore. You understand? And we're using up the entire house now to make wonderful products to supply not just the local market, but the overseas markets. Talk about walking into your purpose, right? And being purposeful and prepared. Now, I don't know how much more time I have. I'm trying to go as quickly as possible. We're trying to cut long story. Sure. Thank you very much. And so, some of you may know the brand Bresche, some of you may not. But it's not about bags. It's not even so much about products. Our real purpose, our real ambition, what drives us is not the money, because there have been days when I wasn't able to pay my staff, and I tell you, if anybody here is an entrepreneur and it's happened to you before, it's not the nicest feeling. Me as a performer, I'm a dub poet. What the hell may I do as an entrepreneur starting business? Why I decided to go after Branson Center of Entrepreneurship and I got into the program is because after doing a poem on Armadale, if any of you remember that piece, I was one of the main advocates behind that particular issue and keeping the story alive. I was in debt. I owed the companies that provided food, transportation. We had some of the survivors and we brought them up to Bonal Oasis at the time, and we feted them, and we had food and we had counselors on location. Quickly, for those of you who remember or don't know about Armadale, it was where the girls were in the fire in St. Anne in the government juvenile facility. Right? After that I realized that, brethren, it clearly costs to care. And so you have to go learn how to actually manage an enterprise, whether commercial, for-profit or non-profit. And that's when I entered Branson Center of Entrepreneurship. My friends, when I went for the assessment and then pulled all my ideas apart, I cried in that meeting. But hear what? I left that cohort after about 2 months with the highest mark for my business plan after that program. Talk to me now. And now, as we wrap up, I want to say to you, Bresche's purpose is not about the bags. It's not about the products that we're making. It's about the wonderful human beings who are given an opportunity to take care of themselves and their families. We have some wonderful makers right here in Jamaica, but we don't give them the credit that they deserve. When we all need masks in COVID season, that's when we realize the power and the importance of a seamstress, of a tailor, somebody who sews. Now I can't sew to save my life. And so I give more importance to the makers that we have at Bresche, right? Because everyone we take under our wings, we want to ensure that they are improving their own lives, they're able to take care of their children, able to pay their bills. And so our core purpose, our core value, our core purpose at Bresche is to make families purposeful and prepared. So I'm saying to you, whatever obstacles you face in life, nothing say you want to own $1 million or $1 billion company, you have to have the $1 billion to start with. No, you can start now. Start where you are, right? And so just to make sure I don't drag out this thing any further, It's a journey to get to where you want to be in life. Sometimes you have to face your fears. Let no one tell you that you cannot accomplish it. Find good people and collaborate to be great. You don't have to do it alone. Myself and my brother started Brescia. Find persons who love you, who will support you. It doesn't have to be biological family, but once they're in your corner, collaborate to be great, and let us make ourselves and our families purposeful and prepared. Blessings.
Respect. Love it.
Yep.